Hey Erica, good morning. Hey Miss Brader's Life, how are you doing? Good morning. Y'all. Ooh. Okay. Okay, good morning guys. I had to make some coffee and I was running a little bit late. I stayed up late last night. Good morning. And then someone who I don't know who it was in my of course, I'm gonna blame it on Instagram. I got oops. Did I mess up something? Girl. Um Can you give me a one if you can hear me? Good morning. I think you can. Um, I basic. Oh God, why did I click on that? Uh, girl, where is my? Damn. This is off to an amazing start. Okay, good morning, y'all. Um, so I was making a cup of coffee, and of course, I got Instagram notification, and the rest is history. But anyway, I went to Chat GPT. Well, actually, I went to Bard, which is Google's version of GPT. I don't know how many of you have tried Chat GPT and or the AI that resides in our phones and computers and stuff like that to see just to ask questions and things like that. Hey, buttons all day. Good morning, sis. Let me see. Uh, okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So yes, good morning, Miss Brader's Life, Erica. Buttons all day. Good morning. Um, I'm headed to get my McDonald's coffee right now. Gotta have. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, yesterday I was thinking, I was like, I mean, of course I want to do, kind of like our little entertainment rundown that we do over here. I was caught up on Real Housewives last week before last Sunday, so now I'm going to be 2 episodes in the hole cuz it's Sunday, right? And I was caught up to the point on Real Housewives where, and this is not a recent picture, um, but are all these people are still here, so I guess it's still good. Um, I was caught up to the point where they were talking about Candy and Marlo's feud. So the only person who's missing from here is Marlo. Anyway, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. The title is Let's Talk About What Makes Social Media So Ratchet. I guess I thought about it because you know, what's going on in the mommy sector, over on Love Lies and Lacefronts and many other channels. It's so damn ratchet. And I mean, look, I like ratchet too. I like train wreck content too. And somebody may not even believe that they are a train wreck, right? So, you know, even with Real Housewives, is Real Housewives train wreck content? A lot of it is. I mean, even though we see, well, there's Marlo. Why did I say I didn't see Marlo? Um, a lot of it is, even though some of these women or most of these women are highly successful, they are they're associated with a brand. But let's face it, if you don't bring the ratchet, you don't bring the drama, you don't get signed for the next year, right? So you've got to bring some element of ratchet. So, when I was thinking about, okay, well, why is social media so ratchet, be it high end social media reality shows and or just your neighbor has a YouTube channel? I mean, some people just want to be out there like that. There's a lot of people out there that love to tell all of their business. They love to form a community around their business. All of us have a friend, and any of you listening could have been that friend, right? Who loves to run your business to the point where people are calling you every day for an update. What's going on with Pookie? Where's Doodaddy? Where's your nothing ass baby daddy? What's going on? Okay. And then some people take it to Facebook. They act the whole thing out on Facebook. It's a mess. It's a mess. Now, I'm not saying, like, I know that, from where I'm sitting, Sometimes I see, I'm gonna drop the line if anybody wants to chime in. Um, from where I'm sitting, moderating these conversations or doing monologues or reviewing videos, people all the time say, "Oh my God, YouTube needs to put some parameters. They need to have, they need to take these people off of here. Some people need to go and have their tubes tied. The government needs to come and do this, that, and the third." Like, it's a mess, right? All of those things can't happen, right? Because I wish I was still in bed. My 3-year-old won't allow it. Girl, do you I remember you know what? Let me tell you something. My daughter already said, "Mom, last night she was watching the new Monsters Inc. movie, and I was supposed to fry chicken yesterday. I ended up making HelloFresh. We got an amazing black bean recipe, amazing black bean taco recipe. It was so good. It was some really spicy black beans with red cabbage, um, with cilantro, salt, pepper, and some sort of mayonnaise, like a Mexican mayonnaise, um, as if there's such a thing. But I think it had a little different. It had a little lime flavor to it, and then it also had pickled red onions, and the way I pickled the onions was half a lime, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and like half a teaspoon of sugar, and let that sit. And let me tell you, it draws out the flavor so much. And so it was the spicy black beans, cabbage, and onions. It was so good. Oh my God. Anyway, that's what we ate. And I said, okay, I'll cook in like 2 hours. I'll make the chicken. Girl, I got on the phone with my sister. I was on the phone with my sister for 3 hours. Okay. Um, so by the time I got off the phone, I was like, yeah, uh, I'll be cooking tomorrow. I'll make the chicken tomorrow. Um, so then I made her a couple more tacos and we all went to bed, and I kind of stayed up for a little while, like researching some stuff. But anyway, um, but yeah, dinner was really, really good. But yeah, she asked me. So I woke up this morning and it was, "Mom, can you make fried chicken?" Like immediately. So I told her, I said, "Look, I've got to do this live, have some cereal, make some tea, have some toast, eat something. There's plenty of, mom just made a Walmart pickup and I've got another one at 1 o'clock. There's plenty of food, and I will make your chicken." I already took the chicken out. It's sitting in the, it's in still in the pack, but it's sitting in the sink, right? Waiting for me to finish this, go fry it, and then I'll probably go live on Love Lies and Lacefronts. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. It's just so damn ratchet. And a lot of you guys ask, like, how can people be like this? How can, like, why and how does this happen? And I mean, like, off the top of my head, number one reason I thought of was it's free. It's free. Social media is basically like walking outside your house and walking into the middle of the street, and it's free. That's the number one thing. It's free. It's free for you guys to make a username. It was free to make for me to make a username, right? It's free. You can troll, and I mean, or let's say you can scroll. Everybody's not a troll. You can scroll through and you can watch whatever you want, and it's free, right? Nobody knows who you are, so there's it's anonymous, and nobody has to know, like, that you're secretly into, truck driving videos. Like, the people on your street or the people at your job, they don't have to know that you one day want to go sailing around the world. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't know what you're watching anyway, but there's so much on YouTube. Like, I was telling my sister yesterday that YouTube, for as much as people say YouTube is saturated, which I feel like the people who say that, like, they don't know that it's not. It's global, right? Um and not just because it's global. It's You could have the most random interest and be a niche pocket of that random interest, and people are going to come. Even if it's 10 people, it could be 10,000. It could be 10 million. Like it's just it's absolutely crazy. And I mean, like to sit and watch those van life videos. I like to watch tiny house videos. Am I going to go build a tiny house? Am I going to go live in a tiny house? I've thought of investing in some tiny houses because I've seen some tiny house communities, super cute. And I mean, I feel like I call it research when I'm sitting there watching it, so I don't have to feel so like weird about watching like tiny houses. But I do think it's very interesting, right? The van life culture still mystifies me, even though I feel like RVing is something I would love to do one day. Have a sprinter travel across the country, even just to have one for vacations to the beach and stuff like that. Not always to just stay in the RV, but just a travel RV, where it's comfortable space. And if we did go camping, great, but just, a sprinter type vehicle, right? Um, but I do find it fascinating people that live in their cars. I just can't imagine doing that and feeling comfortable, um, and calling that home. But a lot of people do it from what I'm seeing, and it's quite fascinating, right? Even down to the conversations of people discussing bathroom situations, people who've converted their vans and minivans and all of those things into living spaces or dwellings, so they call it, right? People who stay at campgrounds year round. Like I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, very interesting. I'm watching, but and that's pretty much it. But anyway, it's just been super duper ratchet lately. And I think that people are so mystified by that. But, at the end of the day, that's life. Um, but let me see. I went to Bard, which is Google's version of Chat GPT, and I asked Bard why. I said, let me see. Okay. So I didn't even read the answer to my second question. This was my list very quickly, and then I'll read to you what they said, because I asked two different questions. But why is it so? What makes it so ratchet? I said number one, it's free. Number two, people, and there's free speech. There's no cost to use it. There's no structure. I mean, there is a certain structure. There are community guidelines, no lie, but there's no governing body that's telling people you can't talk about feminine hygiene. There's laws out there for different reasons, and I'm not going into that, but fundamentally, you run your own channel, so you guys know what I mean. Outside of community guidelines, things that are not legal to do, even in your home on your platform, there's still things that you have to abide by. But all in all, I would say you have 95% autonomy until you start doing things of an illegal nature, and then it becomes a problem. You can make money, okay? And for some people, you can make a lot of money, right? And it depends on what a lot of money means to you. A lot of money to me is millions and millions of dollars. Um, money's money, but for some people, making a few $1,000s a month, just turning on their phone and clicking into an app and letting a camera run, and people are watching them wash dishes and argue with their boyfriend and not comb kids hair, and then all of a sudden they think it's cute, and then they want to start editing videos and taking you with them to Walmart and to wherever to go drop off their repo car, and they think that that's cute. Then they get mad because people have opinions about how ratchet and how foul they're living, right? um Accessibility, it's on your computer, it's on your phone. It's social. Well, of course, it's social media, right? But social in the standpoint that there are some people out here that have no interaction. They have no friends. They have no partner at the house. They may not have kids. Their kids could be grown. They could be socially awkward. They could have social anxiety. There's a lot of people who are on this platform who state that they have social anxieties of many different kinds, but yet and still they're sitting in a live stream and they could have thousands of people in there, right? It allows you to step outside of your anxieties, if you will, because you're in the comfort of your home, and it gives you a feeling of social interaction, because it is social interaction, but it's all virtual, right? So some people do it just for the social interaction, because they're able to um have friends. And there are people out here with no friends, right? No friends, no family, nobody's coming, nobody's going, no one's calling, no one's knocking. Um maybe they don't have a car, maybe they're limited in like there's many different reasons why social media makes people feel good, right? Um it also flexes your imagination. I think that if you have little to no imagination, the internet does not move you, because you do have to kind of buy into this virtual reality. Even though I know that people are like Wintrust is not a computer, but how do I know? How do I know that there's not an AI bot out here named Wintrust Moore who shows up in chats that I moderate and wants to drop emojis? You know what I mean? I don't know who this person is. You know what I mean? No disrespect. I don't know. You know what I mean? And it does require she's Wintrust is laughing. It requires a bit of imagination. This is why I think kids love computers so much, right? Because they haven't learned boundaries yet. So the world is limitless to them. So kids love tablets and computers. That's a whole nother topic. For the reason of it does require a bit of suspension of disbelief. I do believe the reason why people get so frustrated with some of the mommies that I cover on my channel is because the ones that lie, it's so hard to believe that people would subject themselves to so much, right? And not pivot, not change, not do anything, right? They just continue to come back for more, right? And based on what people's thoughts are around social media, that they don't believe that people can make a lot of money or that people don't make any money, um, they don't understand why people would subject themselves to this type of situation. Guys, the call-in is posted if you dare, okay? Um and that's because people are not going to tell you how much they're making. I mean, there's some people that just got, like, on whatever day it was this week, got a check for $100. There's some people who got $10,000. There's some people who got six-figure checks. I mean, like, you can believe it, not believe it. It doesn't matter because it's not in your account. You know what I'm saying? I think some people are very open about, I make a lot of money, right? And some people, and then again, back to relative, it's what a lot of money is to you. But trust me, um, with Jasmine from My Jazzy Life, any of you out there who may not follow my other channel, Love Lies and Lacefronts, there's a woman, Jasmine, who has a channel called My Jazzy Life. She sat there on her channel the other day and basically tried to drop the mic. I didn't care. Maybe some people were impressed. But the fact that Jasmine has 50,000 subscribers and she made $600. She said between two videos, two lives. Do I have the clip? Let me see. No, because I'm on this account. I don't have the clips over here. Oh, maybe I can pull it up on my phone. Anyway, okay. She said that she made $600 between two lives, right? Now, That's very doable. I mean, she's, look, people are sitting in her lives. People are sitting watching the whole thing. Some people are not watching. They're waiting for people like me to go live and talk about it and break it all the way down. Um, she's someone who, to me, if it weren't for social media, I honestly don't know what she would be doing. I'm not going to say she would be down and out. I see Jasmine, and no disrespect to any of our folks that work retail, maybe I could see her working at like a large box store, like an HEB, like maybe a because she does have a degree. I don't see her managing a store of 400 people like a Walmart supercenter, but could she be a co-manager, a department manager? Absolutely. And make $60,000, 60, $70,000. She could go work for an HEB, some sort of customer service type job where it's very rudimentary. There's a certain amount of rules to follow. Maybe a supervisor if she's earned it in some sort of like a call center, some sort of an Amazon. Because she has a degree, unlike Olivia, she would qualify for a bit higher position if she were able to finesse something like that. But that would also require getting out of bed, applying, being professional, all of those things, which I don't believe she is. Would she be a stay-at-home mom? I don't I don't think so because had she never picked up social media and she still dealt with Philip, she would still have to pay those bills, right? So she would have to be out here working somewhere, and I don't see her working in like an office environment more so than it would be something where you're wearing comfortable shoes. Hey, moving in silence, journal girl, good morning. It would be something comfortable shoes, doing a lot of walking around, and something where I don't see her teaching because she's extremely ratchet. And but again, if she hadn't been on social media, we wouldn't have been exposed to all of this. But Jasmine, I don't know. I really don't. Um, I just don't. I'm not saying I don't know what she would be doing. She might even financially have been doing better not doing social media and having a traditional job. But she's, the fact that she's been home for 10 years, I don't know when she got her degree, but she got her degree maybe a few years or a couple years after she had Kaylin. Um, I I think that if you don't use it, you lose it. And we see her barely able to read sometimes. Taylor XO posted a short the other day of Jasmine opening something up, and sis couldn't even sound out we, which we all know we is a sight word, right? We and I, he, she, all of those lists of our very first sight words. Sis literally sat there. I can't remember what the first word was. But the next word was we, and she didn't know. She's like, I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say. And then it was something ride, but in her mind, she saw pride. So I forgot what the first one was, but it was a shirt for like Aiden or Legendary, and it was some sort of like boy type graphic. With I forgot what the first thing was. I could try to pull it up, but it was cringe worthy. She's illiterate. Like we laugh about it when we see these grocery hauls, but again, this thing is free. If sis were on the Good Morning America and showed up with these grocery hauls in the way that she manages them, and I'm talking about the inability to read labels and all of these things, and it's not mispronouncing it, is bitch can't read. Okay. But how is she on here? Because it's free. It's free and it don't cost you nothing. Okay. All right. That's why. It doesn't cost a ting, all right? Um, so I just went through a list. So I'll go through my list really quick, but if you want to hear what I said about them. Why is it so ratchet? It's free. Free speech. There's no cost. Um, there is just an unlimited supply of people out here. Every day there are thousands of people being born, and everybody can be on social media. You can consume it and you can contribute to it. Okay. There was a um I think it's on Netflix. What was it called? The Social Experiment? Is that what it was called? Any of you guys watch that documentary? When they're talking about social media and how they developed social media and how they created some things sometimes to look, even like when you're refreshing your screen, to look like slot machines, and they embedded certain visuals into certain social media to give it that tension, give it that satisfaction, to make it addictive. Their goal is to sell, number one, advertising. That's how they make money, right? They create these platforms. They want you to come use them. They want you to come contribute to them. They sell advertising. When when Google and when YouTube initially um, realized how much money they were making, and they said, we can't just sit here and make all of this money and not share it. And also, we want to encourage the best of the best to come out and let them make money. That's when they started making royalty payments, right? So guys, if you scroll back up, you should be able. Let me drop it again, and then I'll pin it. Let's make royalty payments to people. That way, that's going to encourage the best of the best to show up, and we'll compensate them for it. If you want to come through and drop your content, drop your original content, we'll in theory give you a piece of the profits, because with good conscience, I mean, we're making so much damn money over here. We can't justify at this point not paying people. So that's what they did, right? Facebook, all of these platforms, okay? So, yes, there's an unlimited supply of people. So when people say social media is saturated, it's okay. If that's what you think, because, I say this all the time. It's not my job to convince people. I am not out here to convince the unconvinced. As much as I can, like, we all learn from each other. It's not my job to convince people. Like, it's just not. But it's unlimited, right? It's very much unlimited. How could she tell she made $600 before the advert, before you get? So you can tell. You go to your back office and you can see within. So, like, right now, like, this channel doesn't make much, right? It's a new channel. My CPM is not as high on my other channel, because my other channel, not because it's 3 years old, but there's 3 years of very significant activity, right? Love Lies and Lacefronts right now has over 5 million views. And God, if I told you how many watch hours I have, it's a lot. But it's a lot for a small channel under 10,000. Okay. Um, this channel, your CPMs rise as the value of your channel goes up, right? What your CPM is, Taylor, you can chime in on this too if you want to. I just posted the link, or just down in the chat, however you feel comfortable. Whatever your CPM is when you first get monetized, that's not what your CPM is going to be 6 months from now or a year from now. If you're posting regularly, you've got a good audience coming through, consuming your product, your value goes up. You know what I mean? You know how, like, when you first stepped out of college, even though you're brilliant, you're still brilliant. But your value goes up because your experience goes up. Your value increases as you gain um, your community. It's based off of so many things. But how can she know this? You go into your back office, and the next day after you post a video, you can start to see what money you've earned. So it's very simple. So she went into YouTube Studio, and let me see. Let me see what I. So how can she see that? So very simply, to answer your question, is you go into YouTube Studio, not just 24 hours, but the following day, usually around 6, 7 o'clock East Coast time, you will see that YouTube Studio updates your revenue, it updates your watch time, it updates your views, it updates a lot of things. So you can see a running tally of like who's watched your videos, not who, but how many people have watched your videos in the last 60 minutes, in the last 48 hours. So once a day, YouTube updates your revenue. So if you got a $20 super chat, you'll see whatever the minus 30%. So you're looking at $14. So someone drops me $20, I get $14 into my account the following day whenever YouTube Studio updates. And I'll see $14 plus I will see whatever I got paid in watch time. Okay. And so yeah, she can see that. You can see it. And it's basically what they'll tell you is it's an estimate. Okay. Great question. Thank you for asking that. They will tell you it's a estimate because anything can happen throughout the month. There's many different variables, but for the most part, I haven't seen an anomaly like that where YouTube has taken money. Last year I did something that cost me a lot of money. Last year, I was very frustrated by something that happened, and I just decided that at the level and where I was with a certain function on my channel, I didn't really want it at that level anymore, and I didn't want. At one time, I had like 4 levels of membership, and I had like almost 200 members at one time. And I just decided one day it was way too much. And I promised a lot more than what I could do, which that takes a real adult to be able to reconcile and say, you know what, I can't do this. Because there's a lot of people, and I'm not talking about any one person. So, whatever. At the end of the day, for me, being someone who wants to deliver on my promises, if I say I'm going to do something, the last thing I want someone doing is going live and talking about how I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Now, if I say I'm going to go live and I don't go live, well, I didn't go live. But if you're paying for a service and I'm not coming through with it, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't feel good about that. There's not enough $1.99 out here for me to do that for my reputation. Okay. So I just said, you know what? This is a lot of work for me to specifically curate, cultivate, communicate with like 4 different levels, all membership. So I really just kind of almost made it one thing. I do have like a diamond level, which that person is like we can sit and have one-on-ones once a month. Um, and however that person decides to do it is how they decide to do it. And I do have a Diamond Club member. A Diamond Club is $150. And why would someone do that? Because if they want to talk to me, for and have my undivided attention for 60 to 90 minutes once a month, that's basically what that level is. But that person supports my channel in a very meaningful way, and I appreciate it very, very much. And all that person has to do is reach out to me. We book a time, and it's on some marketing, it's on some social media consulting, it's on what should I do, how can I do this, da 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 da. And I'm offering up my time and what I feel is expertise that I have gathered in the last 4 to 5 years of managing my own social media and also watching a lot of social media, right? And then, but anyway, how did it cost me a lot of money? I basically canceled my membership one day, which was really not a smart thing to do. I didn't know it was going to do that, but it basically, I mean, it can't, any of you guys who were a member last year, and, I got so many messages. Oh my God, Fran, did you cancel my, like some people took it personally. Like they thought it was a them thing. It was a me thing. I could not I didn't want to have that responsibility. I needed to kind of reformulate what membership was going to be to me and what I was going to do for my members and how I'm going to put that content out and what I'm going to have available for them, right? And that was it. And so back to the CPM conversation, or how can you check your money? The following day when I canceled membership, girl, it basically took so anything that I would have earned in the last 30 days, it took it all down. So if I were to ever do something like that again, I'd probably do it at the beginning of the month when a lot of people bill. But at the end of the day, YouTube bills you 30 days after you become a member, not on like a first of the month type thing, right? So but yeah, you can see all of that. So it took me a minute to come out of the hole from that, because I still don't know how and why that happened, but it was not a good month. But you can see your financials the following day, whether it's a business day or not. And YouTube will tell you it's an estimate, but keep in mind, this conversation right now, June 25th, so when the books close at the end of the month, so it's from a first to the last basis, and it's paid on the 21st of the following. So right now in June, I'm making June royalties, which will be paid on July 21st. So when people say, oh, she's just trying to run up her check, they get paid next week. Yes, we'll, in theory, both of those things can be true, but they don't have anything to do with that particular month. If somebody is acting a fool a week before YouTube checks are dispersed, that gets paid the following month. Okay? That gets paid. So if someone's acting a fool today, they're doing that for July. Okay? If they're acting a fool July 2nd, they're doing that for August. Okay? All right? Um and that's it. Just because someone doesn't correct you doesn't mean that I'm not telling you, accurate information. I've been around here long enough and have been monetized. All you need to do is be monetized for about a week and read through your back office to understand what's what, right? Now, this channel, like I said, this is pretty much a new channel. Even though I have 1,500 subscribers over here, you guys know the frequency that I post, and it could be once or twice a week. I'm not over here as much as I could and should be. And I just got monetized not long ago. Maybe I got monetized on this channel, I don't know, 3 months ago, possibly. Not long. It's maybe not even 3 months, because I feel like this when we got paid in June, that would have been for May. By the time I got monetized in April, it was at the end of the month, and I don't even know if I posted anything to earn money at that point. It could have been a few cents. And there's $100 threshold to be able to be cut a check. But if you have multiple channels, it's all on your one AdSense account. So as long as your AdSense total is over $100, no matter how many accounts you have, you'll get paid. So I get paid on this channel, even though I'm not even making $100 yet. And the only why I'm not making $100 on this channel yet is because sis doesn't show up on here like I could. But so let me show you this. Like this is the nothing that they say, oh, people are just making a few cents. I'll show you this. Okay. And you can see this kind of stuff on anybody's channel. Anybody will show you, like, not anybody, but there are channels that don't mind sharing how you make money on YouTube. So I'll show you guys this. And again, this is not this is reflective of a 3-minute video that has 1,800 views on a channel that I don't post on frequently, that doesn't have the watch time hours. Like on an average video, I want to preface this very much so, because people will always have stuff to say. I'm just going to say an average video for me will have at least, I don't know, 1,500, sometimes 2,000 watch hours. It just depends. Right? But it minimum 1,500 watch hours. Okay. This video has 57.6 watch hours. It was a 3-minute video and it's on a channel that doesn't have a lot of play. Okay. Um, but this is from almost a month ago. But what did I post recently? This might not even be a great example, but I'll let you see just so you can get an idea of what the back office looks like. So this video right here, 3-minute video, 1,800 views. It really has since published. Okay, so there's a little metrics here, 48 hours, 60 minutes, but this video has only made me like $6.17. This is not a channel that is considered a moneymaker for me. It's a new channel. I'm on here this morning talking to you guys. But you know, it's a little bit of coins and it's just a channel that I'm working to build up, right? You go into your studio and it will tell you it'll give you like right here, it'll tell you what was made when. So I dropped it on that day, and of course, it's not going to show anything for 24 hours. The next day, it was $1.75. The next day, it was 602. Like yeah, you can see that. Jasmine, very early on that video, the videos that she's referencing, making $300 a video. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, she has not even so much the amount of subscribers, it's the watch time. That's what I always say, guys. It's the watch time that pays. It could be the difference. So let's just say you have one person come, you have 10 people watch for an hour, right? So that's 60 minutes times 10 people. Okay. So that's 10 hours of watch time. You could have 100 people come through and watch for 15 minutes, right? So then you're talking about a whole, let's see. So you have 10 people watch for an hour, and then you have 100 people watch for 15 minutes, right? So 115 divided by 60. Oops. You've got 25. Okay. So what's more? So 100 views at 15 minutes. Like, ooh, I got 100 views. But yeah, they only average out to 15 minutes. Then you have 10. It's quality, not quantity, right? Or I guess you could say quantity, not quality. However you want to look at it. Um, 10 people watching for an hour is more valuable than 100 people watching for 15 minutes because it's the watch time. It's the watch time that pays, but it's the click through rate that gets you running through the algorithm. 100 people clicking on something is definitely better than only 10, but the value of it to YouTube that you actually sat and watched for an hour, you'll get paid more money, right? But yeah, how would she know that? All she did, she went into her studio, and once your revenue is updated, it's updated every 24 hours. You can see what the rough estimate is. It's possible that now it's even more than $300. Jasmine, like quietly, Jasmine. I'm not saying Jasmine's making a lot of money. Jasmine is probably making a salary equivalent to a somebody at her age and stage in a regular ass job. Even if Jasmine's making $50,000 a year with a family of 7, she has a man at the house who doesn't have a regular job and she carries the weight for. So, and she pays $2,000 and $3,000 a month for rent. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, Chris, I don't know what Chris is doing now. She said he was out looking for a job the other day. What killed me is when she said Jasmine is so damn programmed to saying that Chris is at damn work that she just, oh, he's at work. Oh, no, he's not at work. He's out looking for a job. Now, that was funny to me because sis lies so damn much. Um, at the end of the month, they go crazy putting up crap videos. Yeah, but people may not consume everything, but it's quite possible that yeah, people want to get their time up. People start acting crazy. I mean, Sometimes it could be like there have been times where, oh my God, they're starting to act like complete fools, because it's not because it's the end of the month, but maybe it is because it's the end of the month. I don't know, girl. I'm okay with them acting a fool whenever, because to me, I'm not moved by people acting nuts. I'm gonna show up pretty much every day. This is what I'm doing. I like social media. I enjoy it. I see the value in it. I definitely see the money in it. And I'm not willing to allow myself to look like a fool out here on this internet. But if people want to do it, I'm going to talk about it. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's Cardi B. I don't care if it's damn Olivia. Like, if it's an interest of mine that I feel like I want to discuss, I'm going to hit either my record button or my go live button. But as far as my sanity, there's not a price tag on that. And if people want to put their business out, I think, I've been able to cultivate a community of people who like to sit and chat with me and hear what I have to say, and know that we have an open environment here where people can share their thoughts and, you know, say how they feel too, whether it's on call in or it's in the comment section. Yes, you can use YouTube Studio. It tells you how much you're making throughout the day. Yeah, I mean, mine doesn't update throughout the day, but it does. Mine just updates 24 hours. So later today, like around 6 o'clock, I'll see what happened yesterday. But yeah, so um for instance, let me see. So I did drop a video this morning, but it's really just a replay. I don't expect it to do anything. Um, so let's see what this did. I just want to see, just for a better example. Yeah, like this channel doesn't do much, but that's okay, because every channel has to start from something. Any penny, dollar, whatever is a win in my book, okay? Because as long as you have some value on this system, YouTube is going to push you along. Not just because I monetize, but understand that if I made $1, YouTube probably billed $100. So if there's some value to the system, it all adds up. There are 100 million. How many hours? I don't want to get the statistic wrong. YouTube daily uploads. Is it 100 million hours? Upload. How many? Okay. How many hours of YouTube are uploaded every day? How many videos are uploaded to YouTube every day? Okay. So there are around 3.1, there are roughly 3.7 million new videos uploaded to YouTube every day. There are around 271,330 hours of video content based on an average length of 4.4 minutes. And we all know that people are, and you know why that number is skewed right now? Because of shorts. I could do a whole long conversation as to why shorts has kind of upset the apple cart on Facebook and YouTube. I was watching a talk on VidCon. VidCon is the big conference that they have once a year. I think it's going on. It is going on right now, where all of the leaders of YouTube and lots of social media platforms come together and talk shop. And a lot of the personalities, like Mr. Beast and all of the big folk, will be there, just like Comic Con, or the one that they used to do for makeup influencers, or YouTube Black, all of those. Anyway, shorts, because the videos are so short and people do scroll through them, sometimes people don't watch the whole thing of a 60-second video or a 30-second video. The ad revenues for shorts are not what they thought it would be, even though it's very popular. YouTube, I wouldn't say they messed themselves up, but YouTube is very much a long form social media platform, and they took a short form concept from Instagram. I mean, Instagram can be long, but for the most part, it's short and it's pictures. TikTok and Snapchat, which is a live, pretty much almost always live. Um, and it wasn't really their model, so it kind of made things a little bit weird. Just like Facebook really tried to push these short form videos, and people were making money, but what Facebook realized is that they weren't making as much money. They weren't making as much money as if you're sitting there. I mean, I don't know why that wouldn't be just kind of like, duh, you're taking 30-second and 1-minute videos and trying to replace the ad revenue with someone posting something like, let's just say 10 times longer, like a 10-minute video, and how much revenue you can sell like every 2 to 3 minutes or every 5 minutes. You're going to run 2 to 3 more times ad generation with a longer form video, at least, than you can with a damn short. Okay. The reason why it's not, some people came on here, oh, they're losing money. Yes, they're losing money because it doesn't make them as much money, but don't feel sorry for Facebook or anybody else. Okay. They're still making plenty of money. They had to figure out that shorts now has its own algorithm. Okay. So shorts is treated in their own category, and shorts is not included. Anyone who's got a back office, you can see this. Shorts are included in your revenue, but shorts is its own thing, right? And it's monetized and calculated very differently from how longer form video, and it's even got its own pathway. So when you're uploading a short, you're clicking on upload a video and it's asking you, is this a video or is this a short? So the computer knows what you're uploading. You're uploading a short, it's going to be calculated as a short. It's going to be treated as a short. It's branded as a short. It's in a shorts feed. So shorts no longer will interrupt your CPM, because it was also interrupting people's CPMs because the watch time was much less. It was getting factored in an adverse way. And people were like, I'm not touching it because shorts like messes up my numbers, right? Because if you think that people aren't here to make money, think again. I mean, I think at first some people sign on because it's an outlet, it's a lot of different things, it's whatever it is to them. But once you start putting in the work and realize that this is work, and then you get some subscribers who want you to show up every day, they want you to put a battery in your smoke detectors, they want you to look nice, they want you to like, are you going to get some new clothes? You know what I mean? They want to see a nice backdrop. I mean, people nicely or sometimes not so nicely make you step it up a notch. Your phone is shit. It doesn't it doesn't film well. You start to realize the needs, right? And once you start to realize the needs and you want to produce a better product, yeah, you want to make some money to pay for that, right? Or you're taking time away from something else. People want to be compensated. So back to why this is so ratchet. I mean, number one, anyone, like, just in a nutshell, anybody can do it. But I did ask Chat GPT why, and this is what Chat GPT told me. I can't pull it up on the screen right now, guys. Did it give me the same answers? This is funny. So I asked the question 2 different ways. I said, why is social media so ratchet? This is what I asked Bard, which is Google's version of ChatGPT. There are many reasons why social media can be seen as ratchet: anonymity, lack of accountability. So that was bullet point number one: anonymity, lack of accountability. On social media, people can often be anonymous or use fake names, which can lead to them feeling like they can say or do whatever they want without any consequences. This can lead to people being more aggressive, rude, or offensive than they would be in person. Okay. The desire for attention. Some people on social media, so that's bullet number two. Some people on social media are constantly seeking attention, and they resort to posting ratchet and controversial content in order to get it. This can be a way for them to feel validated or important, even if it means putting themselves or others down. Okay. Sometimes to me, it's just telling the truth. So yes, I agree to that, but I'm a very opinionated person, and I have conversations in person and on the internet. So to me, I don't take offense by people like Olivia saying certain things about why people do reactions. People are having conversations about life, and this is just kind of a greater sociology, anthropological type of situation, and we're seeing people who are living a certain way and we're talking about it. I don't really agree with that portion of that particular bullet, but I'll take it. The influence of peer pressure. In some cases, people may post ratchet content because they feel like they have to in order to fit in with other peers. This can be especially true among young people who are more likely to be influenced by their friends, by what their friends are doing. Lack of moderation. Many social media platforms do not have very strict moderation policies, which means that ratchet content can often go unchecked. This can make it difficult to find and remove harmful or offensive content. So this was as it relates to the ratchet, right? Um, and that's it. Of course, not all social media is ratchet. There are plenty of people who use social media to connect with friends and family, share positive messages, and learn about the world. However, the ratchet content that does exist can be harmful and can have a negative impact on people's mental health and well being, as we see, right? If you are concerned about the amount of ratchet content on social media, there are a few things you can do. First, you can be mindful of the content you consume and follow accounts that post more positive and uplifting messages. Yeah, if people feel a way about what they're seeing, recalibrate your recalibrate your account. Um I'm going to be honest, on my recommended feed are gardening, homesteading, van life, even on Love Lies and Lace Fronts. Because just because I sit on Love Lies and Lace Fronts and talk about some of these ratchet moms, even the channels that I subscribe to, that it could be another reactor, it could be those channels specifically, unless it is a video drop by Jasmine. Jasmine's videos are not recommended to me. Her latest drop, even though I may say I'm notification gang, I will get a notification that she drops a video. Jasmine does not show up in my recommended. I'm gonna be honest. Um, because I click on a Peyton video right away, because I click on a Monroe video, because I click on Karen Britt chick, because I click on, you know, many other channels immediately, those videos will show up because it's either a just posted, what is that, recently updated or recently uploaded, um, or newly recommended. They don't show up, her or lit, like they just don't. It's weird. Yesterday when Strong Mommy Chrissy went live, I got the notification, but she's not going to show up in my recommended. Why? I don't know how it's programmed, but I'm saying this to say this: just because you're subscribed to certain channels, you don't necessarily have to unsubscribe unless you just don't want to see them anymore. Then I would unsubscribe and say don't recommend, right? But if you want to just recalibrate your recommended, watch what you want to watch. Don't click on those. So if you don't want Jasmine to show up in your recommended, don't click on her in your recommended. Type her name in. Type her name in and go find her video, right? Whatever you click on in the recommended is kind of like confirming with YouTube. That's what you want to see. And based on how long you watch it and how much more content you click on like it, it's going to recommend to you what it thinks you want to see, because YouTube's job is to keep you on the platform as long as possible. And why would they do that, you ask? Because they're selling revenue. They're not selling revenue. They're selling advertising. They're producing revenue. Okay. Google, who now owns YouTube, YouTube's job is to keep you on their platform as long as possible as a revenue generating profit center of the juggernaut corporation Google. Their job is to sell as much advertising space as they possibly can, to have as much content on the app as possible. So the salespeople have plenty, plenty, plenty to sell to Heinz Ketchup, Tide, all of the companies that realize that there's more people watching on YouTube than they are on traditional television or cable. Okay? So you are rewarded the more. So when you're sitting there down in the dumps because your YouTube channel isn't doing anything, nobody's watching because you only post once a month for 5 minutes and you have not been working on your editing, you have not been working on your storytelling, you have not been working, okay? But when you post a video of you and your friends running around in your bathing suits on the beach and it was 5 minutes and you got 2 million views and you wonder why, well, people want, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, whatever it is, that's what it is. Okay. But when you posted your good cooking video, nobody watched it. People like what they like. And then you got to look at your demographics. You have more men than women. There's so many ways to break this whole thing down, guys, but I'm getting off topic. Why is social media so ratchet? So that was the first question I asked Chat GPT or Bard rather. I said list of why people feel free to be their worst self on the internet. So basically I was asking the same question again. Sure. Here are some reasons why people feel free to be their worst selves on the internet. So, number one was anonymity. When people are anonymous, they feel like they can say and do whatever they want without any consequences. This can lead to people being more aggressive, rude, offensive, blah, blah, blah. Lack of accountability. I think they said that before. On the internet, it can be difficult to track down someone who's being abusive or harassing. This can make people feel like they can get away with anything, which can lead to them behaving badly. Distance. When people are interacting with each other online, they can often separate by distance. This can make it easier for them to be mean and hurtful because they don't have to see the person. They don't have to see the person's reaction. Okay. Lack of social cues in person. We get a lot of information about how to interact with someone and their body language, i.e., read the room, right? Online, we don't have these cues, which can make it difficult to understand how someone is feeling or how they might interact with something you say. It never fails. I could put up a pot like today, this particular talk right now, because it's not entertainment, maybe because it's not Real Housewives, because it's not, I don't know, pop culture, whatever's going on. I may have 3 people unsubscribe. Who knows? You know what I mean? On my other channel, girl, I could do a strong mommy Chrissy reaction, girl. I'll lose 10 subscribers. People get mad, and it's the same type of reaction I could do for anybody else, but because it just so happens to be like, oh my God, their favorite. Oh my God, it's a problem. Online, we don't have these cues, which can make it difficult to understand how someone is feeling or how they might react to something we say. It can lead to people saying things that they wouldn't say in person. I know that there were a couple of people who took very much exception to um, Jasmine, to what's his damn name? Hips job being contacted by whomever contacted him at work, right? I thought it was funny. I didn't lose any sleep. And I had a subscriber who was quite upset with me because like I didn't have the feelings they had. My feelings were strong and it was nothing. It was funny to me because as Jasmine has been on this internet for so long, even though Chris is a social media user, he's not necessarily a channel creator per se. Um, She should have known to stop profiling that man's job and what he's doing, but she didn't take heed to it. And many people I've seen lose their jobs. We saw Creole Bay talking way too much Erica's business. And she says she left the hospital. I don't know if she was fired, if she was convinced to, okay, we'll let you quit without having a involuntary termination on your record, whatever the case might be. Um, Sis very well could have violated HIPAA. There could have been any number of reasons why, but we've seen plenty of people lose their jobs. Um, and Jasmine should have known better. And on a basis of a phony phone call, I thought it was funny. Is a man with 4 kids who doesn't pay child support, who uses his girlfriend's resources and all of those things, losing his job, is that funny? It depends on who you ask. I mean, it just depends on who you ask. No, it's not funny for a grown man to lose a job, but it's also not funny for him to do what he does on this internet and not think that there's going to be repercussions of it. And at the end of the day, it's not my problem. You know what I mean? It's not my problem. And I'm going to just be honest. I don't care. You know what I mean? Jasmine needs to care and Chris needs to care, right? Hey, Tam. Hey, Boo Boo. Hey, Mysterious. We're almost finishing up. So lack of social cues. So basically not reading the room. Online, we don't have these cues. It makes it difficult to understand how some people are feeling. It can lead to people saying things that they wouldn't normally say in person. How many times do we hear that, right? The desire to fit in. In some cases, people may act badly online because they feel like they have to in order to fit in with their peers. Like maybe if people buy into this, like say Mamiana, or people buy into like I say Reactiana, or just reactors, right? And you feel like it's a collective, and now you want to ratchet it up a notch because your favorite does this, and or you want to hit this or that. Me personally, the reason why I pretty much stay focused on what I watch, I do support people quietly, but at the end of the day, I'm focused on what I'm doing. I try not to watch way too, because I don't want to be influenced. I'm not saying that I can't be influenced, but I want to, like, when you come to see my channel, I want you to have an experience from me. I don't My experience is not going to be a carbon copy of what anybody else is doing on the YouTube streets. So it's very important to me that I stay me and I do me. Okay? When I first started doing this thing and people, well, why don't you do a reaction like this person, or because I'm not them. And if that's what you want, go over there. Period. Bye. Okay? I can only do me, right? Have you ever had someone at your job, your manager, say, "This is my ideal employee"? Or I'll take it a step further. Me as a recruiter, when I'm dealing with a business partner and they say, "This is my model employee." Okay. Well, give me what are the attributes? What is it that they do that makes them so special? They work damn 60 hours. That's what you love. Working the crap out of people. Is it because they're so smart? Did they come from a different company? Is it their skill set? Is it their mindset? Okay. Sometimes people want a workhorse and sometimes people want an out of the box thinker. What are the attributes of this individual that makes it different, special, unique, a player, all of those things, right? So at the end of the day, um, the peer pressure is unfortunate, but yes, we do know that immature people out here do exist and people do like to copy. We've seen that with Jasmine. Jasmine has little to no personality. Hey, Ty Sheree. My best advice to people doing YouTube: keep doing you. Keep doing you, and the people who love you, enjoy you, think that you are a resource, a talent, they love driving into work, listening to your content, they're going to show up. I had a lot of negative feedback when I first started doing this. I probably still do. Who knows? Whatever. It doesn't even matter to me. But at the end of the day, I knew in my soul I needed to keep being me. And if me wasn't good enough, then it just wouldn't be good enough. It would be good enough for me always. And if I didn't find my own audience, I wasn't going to worry about it. You know what I mean? And I haven't grown as fast as, there's some people, they turn on the thing, they turn on their go live, and girl, it's been popping since day one. Or you have people, I've watched this, so Bondi Blue, I've watched her channel for years. It wasn't always 2,000 people in the chat. Bondi Blue sat in for Tasha K. Some of you guys can't stand Tasha K, so it doesn't make a difference. But she is sitting in the chair. She's sitting at Tasha K's studio. Tasha K has over 1 million subscribers. And I remember watching Bondi Blue and Roxanne, For Its Rocks, back when they had a couple of thousand subscribers. When, I think Roxanne still works for the city, but when Roxanne got her house broken into for the second time years ago, when her kids were like still in middle school. Her daughter just went to college. I've been watching some of these channels for 8, 9, 10 years. Okay. So it hasn't always been what it is now. But Tasha K, Tasha K hasn't always been what it is now. But Tasha K has over 1 million subscribers. And yes, she is in the hole for $4 million with Cardi B. But look, okay. Stuff can change overnight, but my best advice is do you. Because you trying to do someone else, it doesn't work, because it takes a lot of energy to not be you. It takes a lot of energy to copy and paste. It takes a lot of energy to try to be Fran. It takes a lot of energy to try to be Ty Sheree. Only Ty Sheree can be Ty Sheree. Okay? Okay? Only Taylor can be Taylor. Only Journal Girl can be Journal Girl. You can try to be Journal Girl, and someone can try to be Erica, but only you can be you, right? And because there's too much energy, and the energy that you're trying to use to be copy paste, girl, that could be 5 videos. You know what I'm saying? So people like Jasmine, who sit around want to be everybody else. Jasmine at her most authentic is extremely ratchet. Okay. When the other day, when someone said to Olivia, stop hanging out with these people, stop. Olivia is these people. Okay. This is Olivia. Like, for anyone who thinks that Olivia is not being authentic and not being, that chick is ratchet. Do you understand? She is ratchet. She can play good girl. She can play British accent. She can play Karen. She can play act like her mom and her sister, try to be a little bit more you know, try to be less ghetto. But sis is ghetto to her core, and she gets it honest. Okay. So anyway, um, I think I went through everything. I mean, I gave you what I think, and I gave you what the computer says. Why do people act ratchet? Why do people turn into their worst forms of themselves? I mean, it goes back to many different things, but yeah, I don't know. It just fell on it just propagated yesterday in my consciousness that this was something I really wanted to talk about, because I feel like sometimes people get really confused at what's going on my channel sometimes, as to why people are doing, why does Keisha act the way she acts, why does Olivia. Number one, it could be that's just them. Number two, it could be the money. Some people know when they act ratchet, it's going to mean dollars and cents to them. To me acting ratchet probably wouldn't make me any money. People like this version of me because this is me, right? Me being ratchet, I may not be as ratchet as the most ratchet. Like, I'm not gonna give you the ratchet you might be looking for. Okay. My version of ratchet is sitting here observing the ratchet, right? And we talk about it, right? And maybe I talk about times that I didn't know better and couldn't do better, but now that I'm grown and learned a few things, now I'm a fucking lady out here. Okay. Right. um Olivia is the biggest bully and ratchet person on the YouTube streets. I don't know if she's the biggest, but she's definitely one of them. I'm not playing down her footprint out here, because she's a whole bitch. I mean, let's be for real. But I don't know if she's the biggest on YouTube, because there's a whole sector of people that really get bowed about it. And Olivia couldn't stand a millisecond out there. Okay. If some of those people, like from the beef sector or something like that, came for her, girl, she would guaranteed she would shut down shop. The only reason why she's not scared of someone like me is because, number one, girl, I'm not coming, I'm not going, I'm not sending, I'm not paying, I'm not nothing. You understand? I'm harmless. All I'm gonna do is talk about your video. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she's not. She might try to play big bad wolf over here in the mommy sector, but sis, like she's not hitting on nothing. But yeah, she talks a lot. She definitely talks a lot. They've been Ratchet and they're just recording it. And yeah, and they're getting paid coin for it, because a lot of these people can't go into a job. Some of these women don't even like to wear clothes. Let's be for real. Okay. I love Peyton Marie, right? I love her. Um, when Peyton used to be a project manager in corporate America, I'm sure she used to dress appropriately, but Peyton enjoys wearing her athleisure. She likes to dress sexy. She has gotten all of her BBL surgery and her breasts and all of those things. A very beautiful woman walking through an office with body yaddy yaddy is very much a distraction. And once she got laid off and went through her process of unemployment and starting to vlog every day, go back and start watching Peyton 3 and 4 years ago, before the surgeries and everything, when she was just doing wig videos. And when she lost her job and started vlogging, it's a whole, like, and then also she was getting closer to 40. Sometimes any of you women out here who are not quite 40 yet, you're in your 30s and you're feeling your grown woman settling in at 30, and you are now approaching what 40 feels like, and you're stepping into I don't give a fuck. Um, you will start to experiment and do things on another level, especially when you have some additional coin. You might go buy yourself a fur coat. You might actually invest in a real designer bag. You've had a taste for designer, but now you make some money to go pay for some designer, or you want to buy yourself a really nice vehicle, or whatever it is that suits your fancy. I the evolving of a channel like Peyton's had to happen during the pandemic, because she was able to do a lot of things that she might not have been able to do had she stayed in corporate America, making a set income, even still doing her YouTube channel, wigs and stuff like that. But just, look, the pandemic changed a lot of things for a lot of people. And I do think the evolution of, of her and her channel, definitely had a lot to do with, the success, of her channel, and making lots of coin, and also just kind of like having the resources to be able to go, like, I'm going to Turkey to go do my teeth, or I'm going to Turkey to go get my nose done, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that. Olivia knows when she gets on here and shakes her ass, or wears very little bit of clothes, even though that is probably really her and what she wants to be doing out here. At the end of the day, people find there are some people out here who think that she's sexy. They want to see all that ratchet that ratchetness. And then some people are just watching like, oh my God, I cannot believe that she's standing here on camera like that. Why is she wiping her breast? Why is she da 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 da? Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? Why is Keisha, girl, put on some makeup, fix your hair? Girl, they know it's going to bring viewers. When you have to start to scrape the bottom of the barrel like some of these women do, it's pretty pathetic. You know what I mean? The channels that I watch, like without fail, the minute that they put something out and I'm watching it as soon as I possibly can, um, are not doing that kind of stuff. We have a caller. Yeah, okay, they left. Good. Okay, I don't know who that was. They disconnected. Maybe they were trying to play out here. I'm not really sure, but we don't have time for that. Guys, I need to go cook some chicken and waffles for my daughter. And you'll see me a little bit later on the YouTube streets, probably after 12 or 1. But yeah, let me go ahead and handle this mommy-ish over here. I hope you enjoyed today. It was just me talking. You guys always ask for call-ins, but I know it's early and some of you may not have been able to do it, and that's fine. But yeah, whew, I'm talked out. Okay. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. I did post pretty much all I got from the initial Tasha K rant that day. I think this was 2 days ago. I feel like it was Friday night. So it's posted if you wanted to hear what she had to say about Cardi B. But Tasha K has been kicking the can down the street the whole entire weekend about Offset and Offset potentially having someone him in Cardi B's house. So if you want to hear about that, it's posted on my channel. I do have when she went live on Instagram and talked about it. Other than that, yeah, I'm making fried chicken, girl. Yeah, I mean that's how she likes it. So I'm going to oblige. And for my husband, I don't know what he's gonna eat because I don't have any cauliflower. Um, I'm not sure who this is. And I almost feel like I'm getting ready to shut this down. If you don't mind, I'm going to please call in another time. I'm getting ready to shut this down. I just had a caller and I can't take because you know what? I don't have time to play around at this moment. And I don't want to end on a bad note. I just think someone calling in at the very, very end, I appreciate you wanting to call in, but next time I go live, please feel free to come through. But right now, we're going to shut this down. Anyway, okay, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. I'm going to go make breakfast for my family. And I will be live on Love, Lies, and Lace Fronts around 1 o'clock. And if it's on topic, is it Coco Show? You're welcome to come through. But that's it and that's all. Okay. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.